In this video, I want to take you on a little journey on how I created one of the biggest upgrades for my smartphone camera ranking list. So how I changed from this here to this here. So let's get started. So I have been working on getting a lot of information, a lot of helpful information, a lot of helpful suggestions from you, and I was working also and looking at other things to improve my Techview smartphone camera ranking. And I present to you now version 2.0 that significantly updates a few points. First of all, the ranking system. So yes, we have now the new 10-point scoring system. Before I had a ranking system based upon numbers that were ranked from a typical star system that we know from hotel summaries or evaluation websites or restaurant websites and so on. But I noticed that this is not working because we had values like 4.723 or something like this, which is hardly to understand by people. So the more common thing that many people told me is just switch to a 10-point system. It's making everything much, much easier. So yes, I will switch to a 10-point system and will also include an intuitive scale that you will see at the bottom or at the side, depending, where you can see very clearly how good something is ranked. So I'm taking one page out of the book of games. If you know Mario Kart, for example, it has this nice overview where you can see when you switch to a different tire, to a different chassis, how it will influence different values. And I think this is a visual at a glance performance overview that you will get here that is very, very helpful. And dual data is still there. So if you're still coming from the old system there, you can still take a look at the old normal raw values, I call them here, which is like this system from 0 to 5, so 4 point something, and then the decimals behind it as well. But for the scoring system, I will keep it at one decimal number only, and I will round up or down depending on the value itself. The important thing is here, because I was like not retesting every smartphone that I did, I take all the values that we had before and I'm just using them for creating the new score value. And another very important thing, of course, are the different weights, because this is one thing that many people didn't understand. They thought, main camera and front camera should have the same kind of weight. No, it's a different weight system, and that I think makes sense. We can change it in the future as well. But here's what I decided to do. Main camera, very important nowadays. Zoom performance, very important nowadays. As important as video recording nowadays. This is why all of them get 20% in my value system as weight. We can change that in the future, but I think this is very important nowadays because the zoom performance is taking into account that many people nowadays are zooming in or out. And this is, I think, more likely in. And this is why it is so important, especially for portrait shots as well. But portrait shots are very, very important nowadays as well. When I started this channel, it was not a real big category because not every smartphone had a dedicated portrait mode. Now they have it and they're heavily upgrading it, heavily investing into it. And portraits and selfies are also getting very, very important. So you get like 20% there as a weight as well. The ultra wide angle gets 15% weight and UI and software only 5% in total there. So this is the weighting system. We can change that in the futures, but this is the values that I fixed upon right now. Integrated text packs are also now available. One very important thing as well, because when you are in the camera ranking list, sometimes you're interested not only seeing the score, but maybe also the camera specs to compare them with another phone. And this is not always very transparent. You have to go to a different website and they maybe have not all the data and so on, or you watch my video to see it. So this is something that I now offer in the detailed ranking system or the scoring system detailed page. There's also now the tech specs as well available for this dedicated smartphone, the same that I use also for my videos. And then we have a new comparison tool as well, because this is something that I did in the past side by side. So listed one detailed page of one phone and then another phone next to it. But I was thinking, why not making it useful in one page where you as users can also just click, I want this smartphone compared with this smartphone, and list all the different specs of the smartphones. So I can see directly which smartphone has the better specs in a certain condition. So I created this little comparison tool as well. It is live syncing together all the data from the ranking list there. And you have the possibility to see the new score system, but also the raw data as well. And of course, there's also a new possibility. If you are in the ranking list, you click on a phone and you're interested in this phone, you see the phone maybe in the ranking list, but you didn't see one of my videos. On the detailed page, there's now a button that you can just click and it will directly take you to the website where you can see on YouTube to see all the videos about that one. So I think I talked enough in this little presentation, and I'll show you. This is how it looks like in the old ranking system. And this is the new ranking system. You see much cleaner user interface now, where it is much more pleasing to the eye. The total score is much more easier readable, as always written like 9.6 out of 10. So you know exactly what you can expect here. We still have the possibility now with easy buttons there to sort by video performance, for example. So what is the worst video performance or what is the best video performance? You can see it very easily, and it's then sorted by rank as well, of course. And you can see this total score and so on. And yeah, this is then marked as well. Then we have, of course, the rank again. There you see some new categories as well, like the portrait category. Some people were asking me, get rid of the autofocus category, because the autofocus category, you can see it here in the old one, is like almost 4.5 on almost every phone. There are a few exceptions, but when I started it was more variety. Now almost all of them nail autofocus and are equally performing well. But what is a new category is the portrait category that I added in here. There are only 2 phones right now that have real values that are dedicated to them. Others are deriving the values, because before I had zoom and portrait category, and I'm deriving it from the zoom. It's 50% coming from the zoom, 30% coming from the score of the main camera, and the rest coming from the autofocus performance. And there you get then the derived values here for the portrait performance. And I took those numbers because they fit more likely, first of all, what I think is correct, and with the old list, so that you don't see much of a surprise in the new list with the new score system and a new category called portraits here. So almost everything is now more transparent, more clear, and easier to read. And you get all the old numbers that we had before also down below here. You also see that I adjusted the numbers slightly a bit. So because I don't have to restrict myself now on a few decimal numbers, I can in this real numbers go crazy with the decimal numbers there to show also the little nuance differences that, for example, the 9.8 of Vivo's X200 Ultra with the Pura 80 Ultra, it's both 9.8 because they're equally performing good in general. But if you want to see who is really the best in this 9.8, you see that the real score of the Pura 80 Ultra is 4.925 instead of just 4.9. So yes, the 1-inch type sensor on the Pura 80 Ultra is slightly better than the 101.28 inch size sensor of the X200 Ultra. And the same goes for other things here as well. So for those experts who want to see the raw data, you can see it here now. But it doesn't affect so much the overall scoring and value system. Then when you click in one of those, like click on the X200 Ultra, for example, you see the new overview here with a clear scoring point up on the top. You can see the nice bars here. Still the weights are explained here, so they know what the weights mean, why I get to 9.6. Instead of something else. And you see main camera photo, ultra wide angle, zoom performance there as well. as video recording. Portrait shots is now in there as well. Some of them won't have a value. So if let me go back to the Oppo Find X8 Ultra, for example. You see the portrait shots doesn't have a value here right now. This is just a bug currently because you can see the value here, which is called as derived value. This will change over time when I do my retest the Find X8 Ultra against some newer flagships, maybe not the Xiaomi 17 Ultra, but some other newer flagships. Then it will get a value here in the detail page as well. But the other thing that you will see is now technical specifications. So you can click on this and it will give you technical specifications of this phone. So very useful if you are interested. What kind of ultra wide angle did this or does this Find X8 Ultra use? You have the ability to just see it here very easily. So this is one kind of thing. The other thing is like, hey, I'm interested. I saw one video of you. I'm interested to see more videos of the Find X8 Ultra. You can click watch review. It will directly take you to my channel and search for the Find X8 Ultra. And you see, for example, I did this very famous video here in Chongqing, China, X200 Ultra versus the Find X8 Ultra, one of my first comparisons, I think, and some other comparisons here as well that I can highly recommend you taking a look at. So this is a huge change, I think, for the ranking list already. This is why I'm calling it ranking list 2.0, but there's more to it. Many people, me included, are sometimes like trying to compare smartphones, and of course my end card in my videos is also comparing them side by side. So I created a little compare smartphones option. Here you have the possibility to select a smartphone. So you cannot search, but you can like search Xiaomi and then it goes to Xiaomi, for example. The list is randomly sorted. I really don't know how to do this. So if someone wants to help me with this list, then please. Let's just check out the X300 Pro and let's compare it with Xiaomi 17 Ultra, for example. And now I have them side by side, and this is what you will see probably later on in one of my end cards then on the video as well, is probably this here. So you see the X300 Pro clearly, the Xiaomi 17 Ultra, you see the score, you can see the raw index as well there. You can see the main camera, the ultra wide angle, zoom camera, video recording, portrait performance, front camera, and so on. So you can see all of those things here as well, which is, I think, pretty cool and very nice that you can see here immediately. Okay, zoom camera, the Xiaomi 17 Ultra has a 9.9, so it's a bit better than the 9.8 that we have here. Portrait 9.6 and 9.7. Yes, the 17 Ultra is a bit better than the X300 Pro. So you have the ability to see that. I will upgrade this comparison tool even further. This is just a first draft. Maybe I will add also the possibility to have like the specifications down below as well, if you like a drop down option that allows you to see that. And yes, some of those viewers that are good skilled notice that the categories are in German for some reason. This will be changed as well. So yes, this will be included. This is everything for the big LL Techview camera index ranking system. You see, I have 57 entries in here. Is it really 57 entries? Let's go page 2. Yes, 57 entries here. 57 phones that I tested. I think this is the second largest, the largest database, one of the largest databases about camera smartphone testing so far. And I hope I provided a good upgrade for this new camera ranking system here. If you have some suggestions regarding this new camera ranking system, what to include, what to make even better, write it down in the comment section. Hope you are enjoying this as much as I was enjoying it when I saw it first time finished like that. And yeah, that's it for this video. Until the next time. Bye.